Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drop Frames. I had to make sure real quick right before we started that Co wasn't in council mode from last week's goof. I had a moment of like, oh God, wait. Okay, we're good. We're good. So, luckily,
The funny thing is,
that
like,
didn't repeat.
since last week, I haven't heard shit.
Which is maybe how it should
Yeah.
be, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's the
This is how it
great-
should have been the entire
Yeah.
time. Exactly. It was never meant to be like this big in front of everyone's face all the time situation. Like
Yeah.
that was the whole point. It was supposed to be in the back end.
Yeah.
And then when actual things happened, that's when it was supposed to burst onto the scene. Look
Yeah.
at all the cool stuff we've done. Big changes incoming that are going to affect the platform positively of a whole. That was the whole plan.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. The internet moves at a rapid pace. So sometimes
It
if you
does.
just sit around for 3 days, no one talks about it anymore. yeah. Yeah. They're going light speed on the highway, and we're just kind of sitting there. What are you doing, Zeke? Zeke's just in the abyss today. He's gone.
He's been banished.
Yeah. Yeah. We banished
No.
him.
I was trying to be the council, but I realized that I can't just make myself. I can't
Yeah.
just black myself out.
That's
I
true.
black the whole thing out. So
Would
it
you
doesn't
like to
work
be
like that. Damn it!
Would you like to be the council, Zeke?
I would love to be the council
You're the council.
commander. Your work thus far has been exemplary, but we expect more from you in the future. Please keep that in mind as you keep that in mind moving forward. Now get out there and kick some ass, Commander.
Well done.
The only thing it was missing was cigar smoke.
Right, yes.
That was,
Wait a minute. They smoke cigars and the council does in XCOM 2?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm just like remembering old movies and stuff. But I could have sworn there was like a little curl of smoke somewhere on the screen. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe.
But I mean, if you're commanding something, you kind of need a cigar. I mean,
Yeah.
That's how,
You
even
might
if you don't
be- yeah,
smoke
you
it,
might
it's
be-
smoldering beside you. You know.
Sure.
You might be mashing up Mass Effect and
Oh,
XCOM.
the smoking
Could be.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Is,
Yeah, it could be.
His name's a smoking man, right? It's been a while since I played Mass Effect 2.
No, Smoking Man's from X-Files.
That's X-Files.
Yeah, he is the
He's the
something
elusive man.
The elusive,
Elusive
man.
man.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's too many mans.
Smoking man.
Yeah.
That would
Smoking
have been
Man's
apt
X-Files.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never knew that guy's name until the bare naked lady said it. I hope the Smoking Man's in this one, like in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
1 week.
Wait, you didn't know his name? Really? I thought he was like one
No.
of the biggest characters in X-Files besides the two, Dana and Mulder.
Well, I didn't know he was called the Smoking Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch X-Files to see if it still holds up. I haven't seen that show
Yeah.
since it came out.
Oh, Control too. Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of that in Control as well.
That's true. That's true. They made a second movie, right, for the X-Files? That's a thing that came out?
Second season?
No,
Or
they
second.
had movies.
I didn't know about the movies. I know they tried to like reboot it, and it turned out to be like terrible.
Yeah, I remember watching the reboot. It was kind of rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, the internet's gone stir crazy over this Sony stuff. A lot of this broke like this morning and last night. Apparently, the official PlayStation magazine for June is featuring 38 PS5 games. I don't know if this has been debunked in the past several hours, but this is what I woke up to. This, I think, broke yesterday at like 3 o'clock Central. And then now there's all these rumors about this event that's supposed to be happening on the 4th is now moved to the 3rd, but it's still a moving target for next week for this big Sony showcase. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Have like a date?
Yeah, June 3rd is apparently when all this stuff is supposed to go down, Co.
Okay.
But they didn't really say much more than that. They also updated their website yesterday to reflect new new hardware and PS5 and put some buzzwords and bullet points on there. So I guess we'll see. Next Wednesday would be a week from today, and I think when did they run the Ghost of Tsushima? That was last Thursday, right? So it's not like it happens every Wednesday, but
Wait, what's this I'm reading in chat about DMCA? Sony had to DMCA their own tweet?
really, I didn't know that. What was that about?
I
Let me
hadn't heard
Google
anything
this.
about that.
Sony DMCA
Yeah.
tweet. Let's see. Oh, here's Man, the YouTube
Is that like the left hand not talking to the right hand kind of thing?
maybe. I'm trying to find like, is this it? Looks like Sony DMCA'd their own tweet, link in comments. And this is to a Last of Us Part 2, watch the intensity story trailer, and they DMCA'd that, I guess. I don't know. And now the tweet's deleted. But why did they DMCA that?
Did they do it, or did like Naughty Dog or someone do it? Maybe a PR organization did it.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah. I'm trying to read more, but at this point I'm deep in Reddit comments. The information is not coming fast enough. So, yeah, I'm not sure why that happened. Some other Sony news today. They've got the Last of Us 2 State of Play happening like right after Drop Frames. I know you two are not necessarily going to watch it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it either. I kind of want to go in completely blind, but I don't know what. Like, they've been doing reveals of different aspects of Last of Us 2 via like YouTube videos. I don't know why all of a sudden they decided to do a State of Play. Maybe the Ghost of Tsushima State of Play they did went so well in terms of getting like a splash out there for the game that they decided to copy that. I don't know.
You know, I'm one thing I'm kind of curious about, and this is total. I mean, before I say this, 100% speculation. It's just I thought like this would be kind of an interesting thing for them to do. I wonder if they're doing this to try to get ahead of some of the spoiler stuff that came out, particularly. And here, this again, complete speculation.
Particularly this giant spoiler, which
no. And this isn't well. Okay, before I say this isn't really a spoiler because it's a mechanic. But with that being said, there is a rumor that major events in the story may be influenced by the player's decision. And it makes me wonder if they were to do a big State of Play, kind of like announcing that.
Yeah.
If that would kind of like assuage some of this giant, these issues going on. Now, of course, this would assume that you actually can do that, and maybe you can. This is all just rumor and stuff I've heard.
Yeah.
That could be. I wonder if any part of this is to kind of like try to get ahead of that whole situation. Also, the more they can show to surprise people that hasn't been spoiled out there, the more inclined the people that have been spoiled are to be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get this anyway. So there could be all sorts of stuff involved in that.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Last of Us where there's decisions that weigh heavily on the story? I don't know if I like that. I think that is good for certain games, but I think for a Last of Us, I want like a central narrative that everyone gets. It's like watching a movie, right?
It's a story. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's a story. So it would be kind of weird if that was the case. I agree. Which is why we're just having a discussion, just conjecture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that would be good either. I mean, they certainly don't do really anything like that in Last of Us 1.
No.
And it is a pretty amazing experience in its own right. So it would be interesting if they broke that mold.
Yeah.
Do something different. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how it is. But I'm actually with you with what you said. I'm going to be skipping it completely. I know enough about Last of Us 2 to know that I'm really going to want to play it. The only thing that I would be interested in seeing, and I'll probably try to get this like filtered through chat and friends who watch it, is if there's anything like interesting mechanical wise that they're doing, like with gun customization, or if they're doing some fun, cool stuff with combat that has nothing to do with the story. Like that stuff could be pretty cool.
They have a jump
anything
button.
Story related. Yeah, right. Stuff like that.
Like there's jump button.
But anything story related, like I don't want to hear a peep. I'd rather experience all that on our own.
Yeah.
I like that was a whole announcement.
Yeah.
It was like one article is like Last of Us 2 jump button.
Yeah. It's huge. Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal. Yeah. I do wonder like how game changing the jump button aspect will be. Granted, it's been, I don't know, 5 years since I've actually played that game. I've watched playthroughs of it, but you can like walk up and clamber stuff, right? Like you can climb on.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now. You can jump over everything. Like there's not a jump button. There is a vault mechanic.
Okay.
So anything that's like mid chest level, you just run up and hit X and your character just flies over it. It worked fine.
Yeah.
So the only difference here is that you're going to be able to do that like out in the open, which is going to make for some absolutely ridiculous combat situations when people start jumping in the open, trying to avoid fire, like bunny hopping.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I can only imagine. Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be me. I'm a panic
jumping,
panic button pusher.
Oh yeah.
So frequently, like playing Dark Souls, I'd in the middle of a match, like I'm almost got the boss down, and then I'd crouch and be like, "Why am I crouching? What the fuck is going on?" So like
all
when I play
been
Last
there.
of Us, I'm looking forward to like running away from the fungal enemies, just like jumping.
Yeah. I'm
I
excited.
can just
for it.
imagine somebody being chased by an infected, and they just run up to a ledge, and they're just trying to jump up it with this guy like biting their butt,
Just
like
getting murdered. Yeah.
We'll see.
So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that Sony stuff is next week. That would be a fun way to start June out for sure. Especially if this whole thing of like 38 launch titles. Granted, there's no way that all those are unique. Some of those are probably like carryover from PS4. Like I don't want to say remastered, but maybe they have like the power of the PS5 behind them or some shit like that. Because 38 is kind of insane. That's a lot.
Also, I mean, how many of them are just like little party games, or Sony PS Plus for freebies? Like there could be all sorts of little padded things in there that make that number a lot less impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and someone in chat brought up maybe that's launch window stuff, not launch title stuff, because that was kind of a big buzzword around the PS4 and Xbox One launch was launch window, which kudos to the marketing genius that made that up, because it made them even more reluctant to have launch titles. They could, it's in our launch window. We'll figure that out. What's your launch? It's a term we made up. It doesn't mean anything. Months.
It doesn't really have like a set date per se. It's more of a feeling,
Yeah. Jesus.
So you're opening that day? No. We're not open. It's a soft opening. But But the doors will be open. Yeah, the doors will be open. So it's not opening day? No.
Mm-hmm.
This is a totally different thing. It's a soft opening. What?
But you're selling things and accepting money. Well, yeah, of course, it's a soft opening.
Yeah. Where's that from again? Is that Silicon Valley? Where's that from? I've seen that recently. Oh, that's Ocean's 13.
Ocean's 13?
Okay,
yeah.
That's right. Oh, right. Is that the factory that they're working at? No.
It's the one with Al Pacino.
Oh, that's his casino. Right. They soft. Okay. That's right. Jesus. Took me a while to get there. What else is there? There's this Dead by Daylight Silent Hill announcement that I have not watched yet. So we could take a look at this. It's 45 seconds long. It'll go quick.
Good luck, Co's Internet.
Oh, yeah. Good luck, Co.
Wait, are they putting Pyramid Head?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I saw a tweet about this.
That's it.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry. What's that?
Well, wasn't the appeal or the fear that comes with Pyramid Head, wasn't it that he was in, like, you encountered him in a really enclosed area and his slow movement didn't really matter because he had he could cover, so much area with his sword and stuff?
Yeah.
Are they going to make him faster, you think?
I don't know.
Oh, it'd have to be. He either has to be much faster or have mechanics that allow him to get people to him. Because I mean, the survivors in DBD are pretty quick. Like the whole point is that the monster kind of has to chase them down. So generally they're a little bit quicker. But of course, the survivors have all sorts of tricks to get away from him. But yeah, from what we saw in that preview, I'm sure he will be either quicker, maybe have some kind of warp ability. I have no idea, but there's no way he'd be that slow. I think everyone would just run circles around him and do whatever. But yeah, they'll probably have some other interesting killers that have different mechanics for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I played it. Like, last time I played Dead by Daylight was, I don't know, like a dozen killers ago.
Dude, that game is like
a lot now.
That game's big. A lot of people like Dead by Daylight. And it's just never a game I've gotten into before. Granted, it's a horror multiplayer game, which not necessarily something that I would jump into right out of the gate.
Not really your
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah. But
How many are there now in Dead by Daylight? How many killers are there now?
chat might be able to beat
Do we
me
know?
here. I don't know.
I spent a long time in not a long time, but I spent a good amount of time in Dead by Daylight. The only reason I left was because it was so buggy at the time. Like, but I only played it right when it came out.
There's a lot. Wow. I think these are all the different. This is from the wiki.
Okay, we're back. Yeah,
Back
I heard
now.
it's come big leaps and strides since then, and it's hopefully pretty solid now.
These are all the killers.
I know there's a lot
here.
of streamers that play it all the time. So,
yeah, they got ghost faced in there. I don't know if this Oni guy is there. Is that from? Oh, that's from a different game. Okay, they put the Demogorgon
Wait,
in
they
there.
got the dude from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I didn't know the Demogorgon was in there.
Is that actually him in the bottom left?
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
One of 20 killers currently in Dead by Daylight.
Dude, where's Chucky? Chucky's got to be next.
Yeah,
Got to
they
throw
Freddy
Chucky in there,
Krueger.
man. They got Freddy. They can't have Jason,
man.
obviously, because he's in another game. But they got Michael Myers. They got a lot of the classics, man. We need Chucky, dude. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I know Chucky is so short and stuff, but like he has the advantages, like Odd Job from back in the GoldenEye days. Like he has advantages there. Just give him some disadvantages. Like he's easier to like slap away or like that kind of stuff to make up for his ability to hide.
He laughs and talks all the time, so you can hear him coming or something. Like,
Oh, dude, Mr. X would be fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, he'd be another good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how open Capcom would be to sharing their IP that way, but that would be a great thing for sure.
Although who owns Silent Hill right now? Is that
Konami? Konami still has IP
Konami.
rights. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a rumor a while back that Konami was actually going to sell PlayStation the rights to Metal Gear and Silent Hill again. So I wonder if that ever happens.
That'd be amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And Sony's like, "Hey, yo, Kojima, come here.
Yeah.
We got to talk about some stuff."
Yeah. Chat saying that got debunked already, but
Sony's over here like, we cool, right? We still cool.
yeah. Here's a question actually on that topic before we move away real quick, Zeke. Would you rather play another Metal Gear game or Death Stranding 2?
Another Metal Gear game.
I think everyone answers another Metal Gear game, right?
Not me.
I think there are some people that would say that Metal Gear is done. But at the same time, like for me, I would say, particularly because Kojima, like Metal Gear Solid 3, which is technically the last one. That's the last one, right?
Metal Gear Solid.
Or Metal Gear Solid 5 that took place when
Four
whichever the last Metal Gear was.
4 is the end of the timeline. 5 takes place earlier on.
5. That's right.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5 had such an unfortunate ending. It's so clear that Kojima was not able to finish. Like that's just such an unfortunate end for the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Like it'd be really cool if like even if there was only just one more, if he could kind of like come back for a last hurrah and do it exactly how he wanted to, like under Sony with near unlimited budget. Like that could be pretty awesome. That'd be kind of fun to see.
I agree.
Was as far as being a success, was Death Stranding like commercially?
I don't know
successful?
actually. How well did Death Stranding sell? Let's see. Death Stranding.
And while you're looking that up, before we leave the Dead by Daylight thing, because I want to talk about that, someone in chat said people like fans of Silent Hill are not liking Pyramid Head being in it. Now,
Really?
Is that true or is that not true? I'm
I don't
asking.
know.
Somebody
chat
said there was some
mostly.
gameplay, so I'm wondering if the gameplay influences that.
Oh, I did not see the gameplay. I think maybe they would see it as like a cheapening of the brand, right? Because like the game hasn't been redone for the current era or for the next gen era that we know of. So maybe they see it as like a cheapening of the brand in their eyes. Then also, Imboka or Emo Baka says fans are always angry, and that's kind of true.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I like the one guy in my chat that was like, I don't mind it.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, oh, well, I see the representative for Silent Hill fans everywhere has chimed in.
He's got it.
That's
He doesn't
excellent.
mind.
There's a moderate in
Like,
our
we're
chat.
good.
Get him out. Get him out.
We're good.
only
Hey.
extreme opinions around here. Only hot takes. No
Level heads are not allowed here.
Yeah. Back on the Death Stranding news to jump around. It sold 3 million copies of the game as of March 14th, but then apparently it
Yeah, it's pretty
stopped
good.
off completely. Like it came to a complete halt. So,
Oh, it also had a pretty extreme budget, though, right? Like in terms of how much it cost to make. I remember reading an
I
article on it
think
a
so.
long time ago, but I don't remember
I
any
mean,
of the
those
numbers.
the actors couldn't have been cheap, right? Like that's probably a lot of
Yeah,
Yeah, they had some big names, man.
they did, yeah.
still think even with that factored in, 3 million is still probably pretty damn successful.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and I would hope the PC launch of that or the PC release of that coming up will add to those sales. The mods alone, like,
Status
have
saying 3 million
me
is low. Is it?
in comparison to other big things, but 3 million is pretty successful. Like, that's pretty good
Hmm.
in game sales, at least. I think most games don't even hit a million. Like, hitting a million is apparently a miracle. So, I don't know. We'll have to ask Rami for the final opinion on that. Yeah, and I don't know. Does it say that might just be physical sales? It might not count digital sales, which I assume are a
Oh,
large portion of that.
okay. So
Let's say
just for a little bit of comparison, Final Fantasy VII Remake digital sales and shipments topped 3.5 million units in 3 days.
in 3 days. Yeah, yeah. But that's like comparing it to like the holy grail of
That's
nerds.
true. That's true. But I mean, hey, this was Kojima's big pet project that nobody knew anything about. So, I mean, like that's
Sure.
I wouldn't say they're the same level in terms of media penetration.
Yeah.
Penetration.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a lot. There's good to compare.
I think Minecraft is at 200 million units sold as of last week. So
Well, do they make public?
that's like
Do they make public what it costs, like they do with movies, like what it costs to make them?
No, I don't think it's that open.
Okay.
I think some like it depends, right? Because they control their own narrative. So if that makes sense to put out, then yeah. But it's
Sure.
not where every movie, like the production cost. Why do they do that for movies? Is that like a union thing where they have to disclose how much money the movie costs to make, or I don't know if that's become like a buzzword thing in movies. Because like that happened with Tenet with the Christopher Nolan flick where he apparently bought a 747 just for that movie. Why would you talk about that other than just like Coh's head just turned right now? Like, there's no other reason to say that. Yeah, maybe investors, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways,
The most reasonable thing that I've seen is about going back again to the pyramid head thing.
uh-huh,
Is from iBongzilla in my chat said
of
Pyramid
course.
Head is meant to be a manifestation of James's guilt from Silent Hill 2. Basically, the
Mm,
monsters in Silent Hill are meant to be a personal nightmare. And that, like, I don't think most people are like twigging on that, but that seems like the most relevant, like, reason to be upset. Like, well, the whole reason Pyramid was there was because of it was a manifestation of this person's guilt.
yeah,
Okay.
I get that. I also don't, and it's been, I've seen full playthroughs of Silent Hill, but was Pyramid Head scary when you finally saw him, or was the suspense of what Pyramid Head was in terms of dragging the sword the scary aspect of it? Like his
I always
design
thought it
is
was kind of horrifying.
the design,
Like,
like
because you
his,
never see his face. You don't know why he looks the way he does. He's got that giant cleaver and what
yeah,
he's wearing. Like, it's one of those things where there's so many questions about like what you're looking at that it becomes kind of like, what is going on? Why is this guy chasing me? How does he see out of that thing? Why is he wearing it? Like it brings up what's under that hood. It brings up all sorts of like horrifying questions. But I will say that Zeke, I feel kind of nailed a lot of it though. A big part of him being scary is the presentation. Kind of
mm,
similar to the original RE3 as compared to the remake. Like you can take something that's pretty scary and presenting it the right way can make it 10 times scarier, or you can do it in a more contrived way and it becomes a lot less impactful.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chet,
It's the whole like the reason why Blair Witch Project, if it was scary to you, it was
mm,
scary as fuck to me.
oh yeah,
But I saw it in theaters. The reason why it was scary the whole time is because you never saw the bad guy. Like, never.
Right.
It was
You,
fucking
you
freaky.
created the worst nightmare in your head, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's Pyramid Head. Like, from the neck up, you're like, what the fuck's going on? You don't know why he has a big old sword. You don't know what the fuck. Like, is this like some tormented, like, being from hell? Like, this is their punishment to wear this giant metal thing and swing a sword or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it just, your mind just starts working, and you scare yourself more than anybody else can ever scare you.
Sure. Yeah.
True.
Now I know Pyramid Head in the movies, like there's a scene where he like removes I think it's a nun's skin off of her entire body in the movies. Does that happen in the game? At some point? Was that like an act stolen from the game? If you haven't seen that scene, by the way, and you're interested, you can probably find a GIF. However, I will say it's a little fucking gross. So be careful. I think that was just an enemy in the game. Okay. Well, they did have like the nuns walking around that were kind of deformed and whatnot. Yeah. I think Cohh found the scene. It's rough. It's a little bit rough to watch.
I didn't even know they made movies.
Mm-hmm. They made one movie. And I don't think it was that awful. I do remember that scene was the most talked about thing in it. Oh, there's two. Oh, I didn't know they made a second one. It must have been bad. Because I never even knew that it was coming out. Was it like a straight to DVD thing, chat? Or was it in the theaters? Oh, it was straight to
I
DVD.
remember that.
Okay. Wait, Sean Bean is in it? Oh, shit. I didn't know that. He's in the first Silent Hill movie. And he doesn't die? Wow. Good for Sean Bean. That must have been before he took all his death rolls, though. Before he found his true place in life. Cohh, are you still watching that scene? What are you reading? You have a look of disgust.
Oh no, I think I am. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, to be honest. This looks very weird. But then again, it's Silent Hill.
It's Silent Hill.
Going through, right?
Yeah, that's Silent Hill in a nutshell. Yeah. Anyways, did they have a time for this Silent Hill thing in Dead by Daylight? I don't think there was. Does not look like it. We'll see, I guess. I know they did a big dev stream, so if you have more, or if you want more information, you can go check out that dev stream that they put out. What else was there in terms of news? Not necessarily, I mean, I guess it is news, but it's not from like an actual publisher or anything. Final Fantasy IX has a mod called the Mogori mod, and it just released, and it apparently, a lot of people, a lot of fans of the game are saying that it's actually like a true remaster of the original. They have some comparison images that look crazy. I think you finally just saw it.
That was the scene.
Yeah. Yep. You found it. You got it.
Oh.
Where is this thing?
Oh. That was a thing.
I do want to show this mod.
It's pretty quick too. He had good form.
Yeah, it just whoosh, then you're good. God damn it. I should have had this. Is this it?
Shit comes off like a flesh-colored wetsuit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a glove. It's like degloving. Don't Google that.
Okay.
You've been warned. You've been warned.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Yeah. Here's some images of this mod. Left is the original. The Mogori mod does that. So that makes Final Fantasy IX look really good in my eyes. You can see like...
Yeah, it's like they turn down, like when you're fucking with your camera settings, it's like they turn down the brightness setting.
A little bit. I mean, I don't know if
it looks all washed out.
Well, kind of. It looks... It's higher. It's
it does.
higher res.
It does look a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
Once
was
you
zoomed
zoomed in,
out,
it made it a lot.
Once you
better,
zoomed in,
sorry.
it becomes a lot more apparent. I got to admit, in the small size, it didn't look a lot different, but it really sharpens the edges and everything. Like that's actually pretty impressive. It goes from like blurry to in focus almost.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. It's also pretty easy to install from what I've seen. They literally just have a thing that
I gotta
says
play that
install.
game someday, dude.
It's good. You should. It's a Final Fantasy game though, so it's very long. Although
Yeah, that's fine.
I think 9 was one of the shorter ones. I forget. I still a 40-hour experience at least.
I've made like 2 attempts to play that game, and both times I just different reasons I just haven't made it.
It's good. It's good.
Final Fantasy 9 is on Game Pass, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
That mod does not work with the Game Pass version though. It only works with the Steam for those that are wanting to jump in with that mod. I did read that.
Wow, the amount of people between our chats that are saying Final Fantasy 9 is the best or my favorite is very impressive.
It is one of the best for sure. I don't disagree. It's very good.
You're in the 6 camp, right, JP?
I think 6 is the best. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to tread on this too much, but I do think 14 with Shadowbringers has the best story out of all Final Fantasies.
Oh Jesus!
Right.
I mean, that's
I'm talking
cool and
about
all,
an
but,
encapsulated game.
Yeah.
I appreciate your opinion and everything, but how dare you?
I mean, people that have played it agree. That's not a hot take. The only people that don't agree are people that haven't played it. So you can't you can't argue with that until you play it.
Is 4 the one with Spoony Bard 4/2?
Yeah. That's up there as well. I really like that one.
Okay.
I love the idea of going to the moon and the music on the moon. Like I can still hear that in my head right now. That's definitely ingrained into my childhood for sure.
No, that game was the first game that taught me, like, it's not just like there can be stuff that's not just straightforward, i.e. when you go from being the whatever dark knight to a paladin.
Yeah.
I was like, I fought that motherfucker like I don't know how many times. Like, what is going on? And then I just put the controller down. I went, what?
It's really good. That's really good. I need to replay 6 though, and I want to replay 6 here pretty soon. Because I haven't played that since I was a kid, and I definitely had like kid goggles on in terms of the story. And I think 6's story is really fucking depressing. At least I remember somewhat grasping onto that as a kid, and I think I think as an adult I might actually appreciate it more. In terms of what happens in that game. I think like the Celeste Locke story is like truly fucked up. But it's been a very long time since I've played it. At least or seen it, at least in a non-speedrun capacity. Anyways, 9 is very good to circle back to our original statement. You should play it if you have not. I don't think there's any other news apart from all that stuff. I'm kind of just scrolling through all this stuff. It seems like Sony's going to dominate the gaming headlines for the next week if all this June 3rd reveal is to be believed. At some point, they got to get out there and just say like, yeah, we're doing this. Like maybe during the State of Play at the end of it today for that Last of Us State of Play they're just like, and tune in next week for our PlayStation 5 reveal. Maybe that's why they're doing the Last of Us thing today, is just to drop that news at the end of it. I could see them doing that. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. Or at least we'll hear about it. I don't think we're going to watch. We're definitely not watching it together in terms of the Last of Us thing in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I guess we could talk games that we've been playing. Co, you've actually been playing The Last of Us 1. We mentioned a little bit earlier. How's that going? Also, how far did you get in 1 day, 2 days, day and a half?
Pretty far. I'm about 12 hours in now. I think I did a full day yesterday and 4 hours today.
What season are you in?
In as non-spoilery way as possible. I am in.
There's 4 seasons.
Yes. I think I'm in fall and towards the end of fall, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting okay.
Up on a level with the horse. If that like that part. So we're kind of working through that area.
Yeah.
But yeah. By the way, short little thing to mention. So just kind of wanted to make this as said, because I know we all share a lot of viewers real quick. So here's the thing. Spoilers, right? Spoilers. Okay. If there's a game that's as old as Last of Us, and you know, and you're just kind of cruising on the internet, and you say a spoiler from it, and your thing is like, hey, that game is 8 years old, 9 years old. It's kind of like, okay, that's an excuse. We can debate that. That's cool. That's cool. But if you are on Twitch and you are watching a playthrough of a game, to then come into that channel, say huge spoilers, and then be like, it's okay, the game is X years old.
Mm.
That makes you an ass.
Mm.
Like, here's the it's one thing to just be in the internet or on Twitter or something. Like, that's cool. But kind of what I said today, that's like going into a movie theater that's playing an old movie and standing up and shouting what happens. A lot of people in that movie theater haven't seen that movie. You know it. You know that there's people there that are watching for the first time. So it's different. That's what I tried to stress today. It's different to go into a place where people are seeing it for the first time and then say spoilers. And the excuse of, well, this game has been out for a long time doesn't fly in that situation.
Sure.
You're still just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Are you saying these people are not doing this on purpose?
Well, no, it's like, because we had today, like there were a few people in my channel that were like purposefully saying like, oh man, okay, I'm gonna hold my hand up for a spoiler. Even though this isn't really a spoiler because lots of people do this in the game. But there was one particular part where it's like we had just met a character and people in chat go, oh man, it really sucks this character dies in like just a couple hours.
Mm.
And then I was like, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that. There's people here that have been watching this for the first time. And their excuse was, well, it's a 10-year-old game. It's a 9-year-old game. And it's like, yes, I understand that. And that does fly in some places, but just not when you're on Twitch watching the game. Not when you're in the movie theater watching the movie. That's a place that excuse never flies. So anyway, just want to point that out, dude. Like, it's, I'm having a great time with this playthrough. I know for a fact that we have hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, because we had like 17,000 people watching this today. There might be literally thousands of people that have not experienced this story watching it for the first time. And it really kind of sucks when people come in and they just like throw spoilers all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's cool. The game's been out for a while. No, it's really not cool. Like, don't be that guy. Be a bro. Just be cool. Like, why ruin other people's good times in those situations? Just be cool.
Well, the rule,
anyway,
which, yeah, since forever for me, like the one I espouse the most, for these last 10 years that I've been, a part of this community, ask first. No one will get mad at you for asking first, for saying, hey, how are we with spoilers on this game? Or,
yeah,
hey, does the streamer want help, want hints? Or even just tag me. Hey, Zeke, do you want help with this part? I will never, and no one, no streamer will ever get mad at you for asking first. Yeah. In fact, I praise people. I will stop the stream, point them out, and go, this is how you do it. You ask first, and I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Also, it is so much cooler to like let the event happen and then be in chat, be like, oh man, that part was so impactful, or to save your comment for after the major event happens. Like, if it's especially not something it's like super important, like there's no reason not to just wait for it to happen. Like it makes the experience so much better for so many more people. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. Going back to what we were talking about, I'm playing the remaster on PS4 Pro. You can get it on the PS4 store. I think it's like $20. Holds up great. Like I'm having a good time with it. It even tries to do some 60 FPS stuff, and it does it pretty well sometimes, and not so great in other places.
Yeah, like how? Because I'm about to jump into one whenever you finish. Like how does it
There's
perform?
Some scenes that it works out fine. Like there's some scenes you can clearly tell it's running at faster than 30 FPS, and it's really nice. But leaving it on the I don't remember the exact word it uses, but leaving it on the thing where it kind of goes back and forth based on load. There are definitely some scenes when it starts to chug a little bit. There's also some weirdness where I had to actually disable the like 60 FPS all the time setting because I kept getting this weird like little jaggy thing where like the back of Joel's backpack would be like almost going faster than the rest of the screen. It was very strange and distracting.
Weird.
So I just left it on like most of the default settings, and it's looked great. Like some scenes look fantastic. None of it's had that like 30 chunk that I'm used to seeing in 30 FPS games. Like with Horizon Zero Dawn,
yeah,
that whole game, it was so clear that it was trying so hard to run at 30 FPS the whole time. Didn't get that at all. And I'm not getting that at all with Last of Us. And it's still just such a fantastic game. Like it it's obviously not, 2020 beautiful graphics, but it looks great. It conveys everything it needs to. And yeah, I mean, the actors are mocapped and everything still, so everything looks super, immersive, and it's great, man.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm planning on probably wrapping it up on Friday. I think I'm gonna do another stream tomorrow morning for 4 hours, and then I'm gonna probably give all of Friday to it to finish up and do the DLC, which only takes like 3 or 4 hours. So.
Yeah, have you played the DLC
Great.
before? I've never touched the DLC before. Ever.
Yes, I actually did a playthrough of this game and the DLC on the grounded difficulty back when it came out. So,
Gotcha.
which is, oh my god, it was one of the harder video game experiences I've had. It is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Enemies become complete tanks. Resources are incredibly scarce. It is. If you want a challenge, Last of Us on Grounded is a challenge. So yeah, and I somehow made it through that. But it was tough and bumpy. So I'm just doing it on hard now. Hard is a perfect difficulty. It's hard is still pretty easy. Like I can still just mess around in areas and get through it just fine. If I run out of ammo, there's usually stuff all over the place to keep me going. So
yeah. I think so. Your first playthrough of this was on the PS4 then, because I don't think Grounded existed on the PS3 version.
I think I played it like a really long time ago, and then but I don't even remember. It was I think maybe around the time it came out, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, the most recent playthrough in memory for me was the Grounded playthrough, and that was still years ago.
Yeah, because that my first and only playthrough of it was on the PS3 version. So I haven't I've seen footage of the PS4 version, but I haven't played it. I think those are two different things in my eyes. So I'm pretty excited to go into it. I was also running it on 4K and it's not a 2020 game, but I think it still fucking looks fantastic. I think
Beautiful.
it's gorgeous. The color palette is kind of muted here that we're seeing, but I think that opens up later on in some of the other seasons for sure. This is supposed to reflect summer, if I recall. So I kind of get that vibe from this. It also makes me even more excited to I do kind of want to watch that state of play today just to see the graphic jump after watching some of this footage here.
Let me know if you do. I'd love to get any non-spoiler fun stuff from it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I go back and forth on it. There's also that completely off topic, but that NASA stream or the SpaceX thing is today as well. So I kind of
fingers
want to watch
crossed,
that.
man. The weather.
Yeah. Oh, is it supposed to? Are they saying that the weather's gonna potentially mess?
Last
with
I
it?
heard, they said it was clearing up.
Okay.
So, but it looked a little bit cloudy. I'm not sure what the most recent thing was.
Yeah.
It was a couple hours ago what I heard. So
okay, gotcha. Someone in chat said 60% chance. So we'll see. But yeah, that's Last of Us. It's a hell of a thing. If you have not played it yet, it's one of those things where at this point, especially with Last of Us 2 coming out, do you recommend if people say, hey, I want to play this, but the only way that you can play this is by buying a PS4? What do you tell people that say, hey, should I buy a PS4 today?
I never recommend a console for a single game, ever. But what I will say is that PS4 has an incredibly nice library right now, and getting a PS4 will unlock many, many games that I would recommend to people.
True.
So I think PS4 is kind of like one of the only consoles right now that is kind of like a go-to. Like PS4 is a good console. You will find something you like in their library. It's extensive. It's got a huge amount of great titles. It's got good exclusives. Like PS4 won the console war for its time period, in my opinion, no question. So would you get it just for this? No, never get it for one game. But I mean, there's a lot of great games on the PS4. And actually, I should say specifically get a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
As with any console, there's going to be a lot of ones that are used or refurbished. If you can find a used one or a refurbished one at a good price with a good guarantee from the seller, like on eBay or whatever, or Amazon, I don't forget to check that shit, because as long as it works, that's all that matters, right? So,
yeah,
cool. I'm excited to jump into it. Does the story still hit as hard knowing everything is going to happen, Co?
We've talked about that a lot. I remembered most of the major events that have happened.
Yeah.
And even then, they still relatively hit me like a truck. Like there's so much nuance and so much really just great acting in the game that even if you remember like what happens, seeing it all transpire in front of you is still very impactful. Yeah. Like you don't get that big hit of it being unexpected, but you certainly it's like watching a movie that you love again. You know, you still get a lot of those feels, even though you know exactly what's coming.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you just start sniffling before the actual thing happens.
Yeah,
It's like,
well, dude, there's
"Oh, I
definitely
know
been a
what's
couple
coming
cases,
up."
and I've had to like. I'm not gonna lie. There's been at least 2 scenes where before I've kind of done the mantra in my head. Remember, it's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. These aren't real people. It's cool. It's just a game. Just a game. It's
Did
not. These aren't real kids. Not a real kids. Just a game.
I am curious.
That sounds like what I was saying during Persona to my chat. Like, they're not real people. It's just a game, guys. Don't worry. We can say awful
yeah.
things. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
just a game.
Yeah.
There's also been a couple scenes since because it's the first time I played it since having.
That's what I was about to ask. He's talking about having.
What was that code? Oh.
Oh, nope. Thought we had him. Nope.
Forget it.
Nope.
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 Nope. We're not doing. Nope. Nope.
There you
not
go.
doing it.
No, I was about to ask you, like, that was a question I had for you. Now that you're a father, how does the opening of the game jive with you? Is it more impactful?
There's definitely been a few scenes that have been more impactful. Yeah. There's also been a couple scenes that I like that weren't impactful for me originally that I saw this time and was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like thinking about what that person had to have gone through in those situations is harrowing. Particularly like there was one, and this is not a spoiler, but I'll just say there was one scene in a sewer area that I didn't even remember. I just kind of went through it, exploring the area in my first playthrough, and I saw it on my second or on this playthrough, and I was just like, I paused for a minute and was just like, holy shit. And I can do a quick spoiler hand if you're curious.
No, because I'm going to play it through. I'm going to play it soon. I'm excited that I don't remember everything in that game.
Yeah.
Because I played it in one sitting, and I think that game is a lot to digest in one sitting, especially when it was like 16 hours and I was pretty tired by the end of it. So I'm excited to play it in actual normal human person times and be able to kind of, think about that stuff with time in between the sessions. So yeah, that'll be good. I'm excited for that. Zeke, I was excited. I was going to ask you today if you had played this game. You did a sponsored stream for it. Completely different from Last of Us. You're playing it right now?
I have it open in the background right now.
Dan spoke about this game. Dan's Gaming, friend of the show, and said it is very addicting, and even said it's more addicting than Slay the Spire. How is Monster Train, Zeke?
Monster Train is fantastic. It's always really nice when you can do a sponsored stream for a game that you end up really enjoying. And in fact, it's one of those rare cases. I don't know how many like sponsor streams I've done, but like only 1 or 2 times, not including this, so maybe like 2 or 3 times maybe, did I start the stream with a sponsored segment and then kept playing the game the whole rest of the day. And I totally did that for this game. Monster Train is fucking fantastic. It's little progressions, deck building, roguelike stuff, unlocks, keep it going. The music is fantastic. For being like a card game that doesn't have a lot of like, motion and stuff, it's fun to look at. It has cool character designs and really bright coloring and stuff like that. So it keeps your eyes entertained. And that may sound like very like childish, but that's important. That you don't realize that's important sometimes. That you're looking at a game like, why am I so bored with this game? It's because the colors are muted or something like that. It's not keeping your eyes excited. This one definitely has that. It has eye appeal. Also, it's once you go up the it's not Ascension. What is it called in Monster Train? It's called hold on. It's Covenant. The Covenant ranks are basically the Ascension ranks from Slay the Spire. They give you difficulty levels like every time you want to raise this. Basically your level, because you can see if friends on Steam who play the game, you can see their Covenant rank and see how like your place within them.
Oh.
So like I'm Covenant rank 4, and most of my friends on Steam that play the game are 4 or like 3, somewhere around there. A couple are higher, a couple lower, stuff like that. But that's basically your level, and they add like a difficulty. Like these monsters get more attack power. This you have to shuffle in this shitty card into your deck, and you can't remove it. Blah blah blah. But it's super fun. The strategy is really cool.
Yeah, can you explain like how this works? Because I don't even know
Yes,
what
absolutely.
side you are here, so I don't know what's happening.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have started from the beginning. I've been playing it so much that I just assumed that everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So Monster Train has it's three floors,
Okay.
and you can populate those 3 floors with monsters. The first floor obviously is where the bottom floor is where the monsters first appear, unless there's some sort of game augment where they appear on different floors or whatever. But with no augments, no nothing, they appear on the first floor. You fight them there, and then they move up to the second floor. And what the objective is to kill all the monsters before they destroy your crystal, which is the 110 in the upper left corner there.
Wait,
Oh.
are you monsters fighting monsters?
Yes. You're
Okay.
actually, excuse me, I'm sorry. The whole thing is you are like you start out playing like demons from hell, but you also get like plant monsters, water monsters, stuff like that. You're fighting heaven, basically. So
Oh.
it's got that cool like, turnaround where you are
Religious
trying to
theme kind of thing.
yeah, you're trying to protect hell or whatever.
Yeah.
From the angels and the blessed and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So the monsters start out at the bottom, or excuse me, the enemies start out at the bottom floor. You hit them, each faction, like I've unlocked 3 factions thus far. I have demons, Stygian, which are like the water types, and I can't remember the plant type name, but there's basically demon, water, and plant, the ones I have right now.
Okay.
And you get those fairly quickly. It's the 4th and 5th ones are going to take a minute, because in order to unlock those, you have to do certain things like this 100 times. If like summon these units 500 times or whatever. The Awoken, thank you very much. That's the plant type. But each one has its own separate champion that you get automatically. So that guy in on the bottom row with the 2 sides with the big spikes on the front,
Yeah.
that's the champion for the Awoken, the plant guys.
Okay.
So you get that. The demons have this like really fast, hard damaging champion, and then the Stygian, the water types have this powerful magic user that doesn't have a lot of health,
Okay.
kind of thing. So you start with those. That's one card you automatically get. The rest of the cards you acquire and build up as you go along in the game. Now, if you look at my hand right now, you see there's like second to last and third to last from the right. You see on the side of the card, there's those little like gem slots.
Little icons.
Yeah.
You put those there. So as you go along, you see merchants, and there's if you want to augment your cards, there's spell merchants and creature merchants. I can't exactly remember, like they have a technical name, but basically spells and creatures. So you go to the creature merchant, and they have for sale like plus 10 damage, plus 25 health, and you purchase those things and you add those to specific cards, and that's how you augment your cards as you go along. Same thing with spells. Like this spell will or this gem augment will make the spell cost 1 less. And it's embers in this game instead of mana or what have you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll make the spell more powerful, cost less embers, yada yada yada. And it's very much the progression style is very much like Slay the Spire in that it's piecemealed to you. It's here's your basic deck. Play through a game, unlock some cards. Here's a few new cards for you to learn. Cool. You got those? All right, you've unlocked some more. Here's some more. It's very good about like giving you new mechanics and new shit, not all at once. It's like, here's a new thing. Play. Here's another new thing. Now play. It keeps the action going, which you don't have to like spend a lot of time like learning mechanics and shit like you would if you like for every new mechanic that comes out of Magic the Gathering, you got to sit there and go like, Okay, how does this work? What synergies would it have? Like this is fairly simple. It's like, all right, we're gonna test. We're gonna show you multi-strike. Got it? Cool. Now we're gonna show you what quick is, and so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's super addictive. Jump in, jump out, just like you would like Slay the Spire. You can sit there and play it for 15 minutes and close it, or play it for fucking 5 hours and wonder where the fucking time went.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely my new offline game for sure. Like that's what when I'm watching like a documentary on one side of the screen, I got Monster Train open on the other side.
Does it like difficulty wise, what are we talking? Like what one, I guess maybe before we even get to that, is there a fail state? And if so, what does that look like? And two, like how difficult is the game?
The game can get pretty difficult. Winning a run after having unlocked a couple of covenants can become very problematic, just like it was in Ascension. There are going to be certain hurdles that really stop you up. There's also, I forgot to tell you, there's also like every time you enter a battle, there's an option before you enter the battle to do I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like a challenge mode. Like, okay, here's who you're going to fight. Before you go into the fight, you can turn on this challenge mode, which means the enemies will all start with a 10-point shield, 10-point damage shield.
Uh-huh.
But your reward is you get 100 gold pieces. Trials, they're called trials. But you can choose to do that on or off depending, like if you want the rewards. Like the worst one I've encountered so far is enemy spikes, which is basically like it sounds. You hit them and it hurts your guys. So anytime I come across like a spikes trial, I turn it off. But every other one, I've been keeping them on because the rewards do add up. And after you gather enough gold and hype up or power up enough cards, it starts to become like you get the synergies. You understand like, oh, this is going to be great against this enemy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, this game is well more forgiving with removing cards from your deck than Slay the Spire was. Removing cards from your deck, Slay the Spire was it was costly, and it didn't happen like as much as you'd want. This one, there's a lot of card removal. So if you don't like what's in your deck, you're pretty guaranteed you can throw it out later. Also, they do a lot of duplicating cards. So if you really like a card in your deck and you think you got something OP, you can dupe it. And that's what happens in between battles. So battle, power up, battle, power up. And you get to choose 2 tracks, one side or the other. So you look at the track and say, okay, the power-ups on this side of the track are 2 card removal, health back on my crystal, and a spell merchant. On the other side, there's card dupe, mystery cave, which can be really, really good at times, and creature merchant. So you decide one way or the other, and they mix them up. So depending on what you're like needing at the time, you can go get it, whatever it is. Like if you need to remove 2 cards, or if you need crystal health or whatever, because crystal health is basically your health. That's your HP. See, and your crystal does in fact have like its own defense mechanism. So the other thing is with this game, it's enemy first, then you, unless you have the like quick, which means then you got to go first. But without that, it's always enemy first. They strike you with all of their side, and then your entire side goes.
Oh, so you play like reactively instead of proactively then?
Sometimes, yes. Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
And you can't cast spells in between. So one round is enemy, then you. Round done. All the enemies that aren't dead move up a floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. That is because that was my next question, is like what's different about this in the grand scheme of things. That sounds like a pretty big change in terms of the the thought process around the game for sure.
Yes.
And I know you mentioned you were
Um,
playing this off stream, and pardon me if I missed this. Are you planning on streaming this again too?
I don't know, man. This might be like I don't know what to do today. Let's play Monster Train.
Sure.
You know, it might be one of those times like tomorrow this game comes out and I want to play it. But today we're going to fuck around. Just have a nice chat and play Monster Train. That's another thing about this game that Slay the Spire has as well. It's like it's all turn-based. You don't have to pay attention like all the time. You look, see what's going to happen, and then you set your thing. You set your the round in motion. Like I'm going to do this. I'm going to summon this guy. Then I'm going to play this spell. End turn. Bam, 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 bam. Go. Next turn. There's a multiplayer too.
Yeah,
Let's not forget. Thank you, Brock Rock.
Chat, we're talking about the multiplayer. How's that?
The multiplayer is it's basically a race. So you race to see how the furthest you can get on the map. The fastest. So every round is timed. Actually, I don't think it has to be the fastest. I just think it has to be whoever survives. Every round has a time limit. So you feel the time crunch, and you battle it out just like a regular game, but you're going faster because you have a time limit. Your time limit's up. I think you're out. I'm not sure. I died the one time I got it to play because I wanted to play it again, but the servers went down or something like that. But I played it one time, and there is a score and a distance that affect how you do when you do multiplayer. And it's, I don't know how many, but I think I got like 6 or 7 at least playing, like racing with me during the game. I'm not sure what the limit is, but you race them. You see you can see where they are at all times. Also, it gives you updates like this person just beat round 3. And they're moving on or whatever, and you're just like, oh shit, I'm still in round 2, whatever.
Yeah.
So you can keep tabs on everybody that's actually in the race. But there's time based and distance travel on the map and score. So if you both die, if it's down to 2 people and you both die on the same combat, whoever has the highest points will win the round. It's basically used as a tiebreaker for placing.
Cool.
I've seen 13, but I'm not sure. Okay.
Chad was also saying that you can share your seed number so that people can try to beat your score or your record on it as well to challenge people.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. How much is the Monster Train?
Monster Train is it's $24.99, but it's on sale right now until June 4th for $19.99.
Okay. All right.
And if we're talking like if you consider value being hours played to how much it costs, like I'm already like well over like $1 per hour.
Yeah. Someone said you get a discount if you own Slay the Spire. Is this made by the same company?
I don't know if that's still true.
Okay.
And no, it's not.
Okay.
But they are friends. Like they talk, and they worked it out as if you own Slay the Spire already, you would get 10% off. I'm not sure if that's still viable, so don't quote me on that.
Gotcha. Cool. That's Monster Train. Definitely looks more.
It's only $19.99 if you own Slay the Spire. It is okay.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So yeah, So it might be only 10% off, and I'm showing 20% off because I own Slay the Spire.
Gotcha. Definitely looks more up my alley, and like Slay the Spire, I think the art style was rough for me to get through. This looks much more interesting in terms of the card design, enemy design, and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks cool.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to playing it like for hundreds of hours because I have literally hundreds of hours in Slay the Spire. It's probably the game I've played. I have the most hours in, whether it be just sitting idle in the background or actual playtime. Yeah.
Yeah. What time is it? We got about 20 minutes. I can talk about the Mortal Kombat DLC that came out. I
Oh, did you play it?
Yeah, we did a sponsor stream for it yesterday. But I'm not
Nice.
sponsored
Doing that
now.
Friday.
Here's the thing. Mortal Kombat, the story stuff, I absolutely loved going through, and that's exactly what this is more story stuff. It also has 3 characters. The biggest thing that I think is the most, if there's a pro and con list, the number one thing in the con list is that it's $40. It is a very pricey DLC edition.
Whoa.
You're getting 3 characters for that, and you're getting 5 story chapters, which for me is probably, I'm on the final one. I did not finish it, and it's probably about 3.5 hours of story content there. I think that there's a handful of other new things, but the bulk of it is 3 new characters and 5 new story chapters. With all that said, if the game did not have the $40 price tag and you are not a fighting game fan, I would recommend this just for the story alone. It's more nonsensical action game BS that Mortal Kombat 11's base story was. And it also has, it's weird to talk about it in the sense of like, I don't want to spoil a Mortal Kombat story, but like saying that just kind of hurts me a little bit because it's a Mortal Kombat story. So I don't know it's a weird thing to talk about. But the characters involved are great, is I guess what I'll say. I really like the main antagonist. I don't know. They do a lot of jumping around in terms of who you think the bad guy is. And you get to play a lot of times as the bad guy. Or the gray person. No one's good in the Mortal Kombat universe. Everyone's an asshole, essentially. They're all there just to murder and become the Khan and all this shit. And if you've seen the original movies, Ko, I know what you're a big fan of. The music is not there, but Shang Tsung is there, and the original actor from the movies is voicing Shang Tsung. And he says a lot of the voice lines from the movies just randomly throughout the cutscenes when they're talking. It very much seems like that was the entire idea behind getting him to be a central character in the DLC, because he can say things like "Your soul is mine" and
"Your soul is mine."
All of that stuff. Yeah, it's very fan servicey, very campy. But it's that thin line of like, yes, it's campy, yes, it's fan servicey, but it's also great to watch. So I had a great time with it. I guess I will show a little bit of it here. It takes place immediately after the end of Mortal Kombat 11's main story. And without saying why, it involves a lot of time nonsense. And there's a lot of jumping around into pre-existing cutscenes from the original storyline that you have already played through, if you've played that. And then some crazy shit happens in them. And they like added to those cutscenes. So it's kind of a cool way of handling that. But in terms of the gameplay, it's more Mortal Kombat. The 3 new characters, Shiva, Fujin, and RoboCop. I don't think RoboCop shows up in the story, unfortunately, but how would they do that to begin with? I don't know. It'd be a little bit weird. But maybe they could. But I've been playing you get to play a myriad of different characters, and some of them actually some of the DLC characters that were already there, that were added after the main game. Fujin's really good. He's like the wind god. He's the parallel to Raiden, who's the thunder god. Fujin is the wind god. That's Liu Kang right there. He'll show up in just a second. And then Shiva is the female equivalent of Goro, and she's really fun to play as well. I definitely felt myself getting better. Over time, as you do in these type of games. But I'm by no means a fighting game expert. Dare I say a fighting game novice. I am very much an idiot when it comes to these games, and probably will always be, because it takes so much time to get good, as they say. This is kind of what they showed in the trailer, so it's not necessarily the biggest reveal, but Fujin's in here. I think he's probably my favorite character so far that I've played. I'm in the final chapter, like I said. I don't know if they're going to have any other big reveals. They do make some mentions of other Final Fantasy, other Mortal Kombat names. Why the fuck did I say Final Fantasy? Like Katana's father, like There's another one. Havoc shows up. Shang Tsung mentions Havoc, so you start to think like, is there, is that future DLC? I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of time travel nonsense that occurs. It's pretty good though. Also, that's Shang Tsung right there, with his model from the movies. He's just a little bit older. So, yeah, I had fun with it. It was a good time. So, if you want to play multiplayer and really show people how bad we are at fighting games together,
well, I'm going to be playing it for. It'll probably be before your time. I'm playing it from like 8 to 10 on Friday morning for the sponsored thing.
Okay.
Maybe some other time.
Maybe at the end of that, well, if you're going to do story mode, probably not. Because the story mode
I'll probably do story mode to start with. I too played through all of the Mortal Kombat 11 story and kind of had a good time throughout it. So yeah, I'm gonna see how it is. But maybe sometime down the road, for sure, you can just jump in for a half hour at some point and just mess around.
Yeah.
Drop frames games. We haven't done that for a while. Get like a bunch of games together. And we can all play it, and that can be one of them.
We have not. Yeah, summer's coming up, which we'll see how many things there is. It seems like there is going to be a lot of things to cover, but.
Somebody asked me this. What are the big games in the next couple months? Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
It's like 19th of June is Last of Us 2. Around the same time in July, I think, is Ghost of Tsushima. Weren't there a couple other big titles around those times too?
So on my game list, which is kept up to date by Nor, itmeJP/game list. We kind of have a plan put together. But if I look at the upcoming game list, what's today? The 27th. So we've got Phantasy Star Online 2 came out today as its full release. So that's like the remake or whatever, or not necessarily the remake, remaster is maybe what they're calling that. I don't know. Xenoblade Chronicles is on Friday. Which is the definitive edition, which is a remake of Xenoblade Chronicles from the Wii. I'll be checking that out. Command & Conquer Remastered Collection comes out on the 5th of June. Valorant comes out the 2nd of June. Desperados 3 comes out June 16th. Last of Us Part 2 is June 19th. New Path of Exile.
When did Bloodlines get pushed back to?
That's sometime in fall, I think.
Okay.
There will be a new Path of Exile League sometime in June. They had to.
Didn't you hear though? It's too blue.
Wait, what? What is it? Was Bex tweeting something?
Bex was like, "We've only announced like a color, and already people are complaining about it." And people are like, "God, it's blue like other ones." Oh, I know, blue is so overused. It's so ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
so
ridiculous. People will form opinions with the information you give them. So
they can make every expansion blue. Who cares? My
true.
God, man.
It's true. Marvel's Iron Man VR comes out on July the 3rd. That's PSVR only. Deadly Premonition 2 comes out July 10th. Have either of you played Deadly Premonition 1?
God damn, I play so many games. Is it on Steam?
Maybe. I think it was a like PS3, Xbox 360 era game.
Oh, Deadly Premonition.
I was going to look over at my chat.
Yes.
Oh shit, that's from 2013. Okay. Or even before that.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay.
The reason is you guys should probably play Deadly Premonition 1. It's right up your Campville alley, which I know both of you enjoy, but it's also like, well, I was going to say it's a good game. It's not necessarily a good game, but it's so bad that it is a good game, which I think you should play Deadly Premonition.
I've never played it. It looks great. Are there moments where I will be able to fill someone's dark soul with light? Like, are there moments like that?
Sure.
Like real cheesy.
I don't even know like how to pitch the game to you, Zeke. Only that it is a ride. It is Twin Peaksy. If Twin Peaks was even more ridiculous, yeah, it's like anime Twin Peaks. I agree with that, Reggie.
How did I'm having trouble figuring out how I missed it.
I don't know.
How have I never played this?
I don't know. It's
Is
kind
it good?
good's a word that I think circles Deadly Premonition, but it's so bad that it's good, right? Like, you're going to get to the gameplay elements of that game, and you're going to just lose your shit at how bad it is. But in that sense, it will be good.
I like this from the Wikipedia. Deadly Premonition has garnered a cult following and has been cited as an example of games as art.
Yes. It's a sweary game. Maybe I should have just led with that. It's a sweary game. Yeah. And there's a sequel coming out on July the 10th for it.
So there's only been one Deadly Premonition then.
Yes. There's a second one coming out, but yes. So far, up
Okay.
until July the 10th, there's only been one.
I feel like I need to play this then.
I think you do. I don't know why it never dawned on me. Like, I don't know why it never dawned on me that you should play this game 100%.
The main character's name is Francis York Morgan.
Is it though?
Call
like
him York.
Swedish.
Everyone else does.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you say it real fast, it sounds like Swedish or Norwegian, like Francis York Morgan.
Yeah.
How long is it? It's like a
That I don't
10-hour
know.
game or like a 40-hour game.
Let's see how long to beat. It is 19 hours for main story.
Wow.
Okay.
Completionist is 35. Don't do a
Wow.
completionist run.
I'm looking at this now like, okay.
It's a thing. It is truly a thing. It is. I can't believe I never tried to pitch this to you guys. I only know about it because Giant Bomb did a like endurance run where they played through the whole thing, and it's a.
Someone in my chat goes, "Wait, I'm Swedish and my surname is York Morgan."
Yeah,
Thanks, Andre.
you should check it. What else is there? Death
Oh, you
Stranding.
said 19 hours to beat? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like a 3-stream game.
So that's a week and a half for me. Got it.
There you go. Yeah.
Can
There's I think there's a lot of Easter eggs in that game. There's also just a lot of like, what the fuck is going on? And you'll try to piece things together, but you won't have any of the story. It's very Twin Peaks in that way. Anyways, what else is there? Death Stranding PC release on the 14th. Ghost of Tsushima on the 17th. Destroy All Humans on the 28th. That new Paper Mario game also on the 17th. And then we get into August, and it's pretty bare bones. Wasteland 3 on the 28th. That golf game that we, for some reason, are excited about. PGA Tour 2K21 is on the 21st. Wait, New World actually has a launch date of the 25th? Is that... I didn't know that had an actual launch date. That's that Amazon MMO.
Yeah, we're actually talking about that today. That's like one of the only MMOs I'm actually like legit excited for right now because I actually think it will get done.
You think it will what? Go?
Hold on. Are we good? Okay, here we go.
Seems good.
I think it's one of the only MMOs in like my list of MMOs that I'm actually really excited for right now because I feel like it might actually get done. Like there's been so many MMOs over the last decade that have like came around and I've got really excited for, and just either they're taking a huge amount of time or they've run out of money. And like I get so worried about these other games. It's like until they're done, you never really know if it's going to actually be there. But
Yeah.
New Worlds, it's like it's Amazon, man. Like they're not like it's bottomless. Like as long as they decide that they're actually going to release it, it's going to get done. So at this point, it's just like I really hope it's good. Please be good. I need an MMO in my life. Please be good.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh man.
Is that what about the Crucible thing? Have you guys seen? Is the buzz gone already for that? Are the sponsored streams over for that? Because there was a lot last week, but I didn't see any of those people play it afterwards, after the initial sponsored stream. I also saw usually when you do like sponsored streams for those type of games, the viewership goes up. Was not the case later on in the week for that game. It seems like it's kind of floundering out, which is unfortunate. So yeah, and chat's kind of echoing everything that I'm saying there. So that sucks.
Which game you
Crucible.
talking about? Crucible?
Yeah, the game
Yeah.
we were showing last week.
Okay.
Or watching Sakura play last week.
Yeah, my lady is playing it, and she's really enjoying it. Like as far
Yeah.
as yeah, um, in lieu of playing the new ESO because of the whole server problems, and no one could play that shit. Like there's a whole thing about it, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
in lieu of playing that, she's playing Crucible, and she's really enjoying it a lot. So,
I was thinking
and
about.
she really enjoys ESO, like Destiny, competitive games like that.
I was thinking of looking into that ESO thing. I saw Dan was playing it last night. And I think it looks all right, but I haven't done it yet. In terms of the other games, Co, you were talking about this fall. Marvel's Avengers comes out the 4th. Cyberpunk, of course, on the 17th. That Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster is on the 4th as well in September. Crusader Kings 3 also on September the 1st. And then October is I think October, November, and December is probably going to be new console stuff because there's not been much announced yet for that. And I think all of the big games in terms of the current consoles are coming out this summer. So hopefully by October, November, and December, we're playing, new console stuff. But who knows?
Cool.
We'll see. There's very little announced for that. Although that is, 7 months, 8 months away. So,
a little indie game, Cyberpunk. That's around that time too, I think.
Yeah. Smaller title. It might do well. You never know. We'll see.
I think they should have done more PR for it. Not a lot of people really. Yeah.
Yeah. They really need to put more marketing into it. I think we'll see. We'll see if they bump that up over this summer. What time is it? I think we're due for a break. We'll come back. I don't know if we have enough to fill the rest of the hour. We got Zeke's Indie Sunday to go through. Co and I could probably talk a little bit more Terrarias. I think Co's done with his playthrough. I'm pretty close to it.
All done.
Yeah.
I played a new a game that I saw on Indie Sunday that we'll go into, but I played it yesterday, like all the way through. And we're talking about Old Gods Rising.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about it, but I finally finished VLR. It's done. It
there you
took
go.
me like over a year.
It's done.
I'm finally done.
It's over.
Yes. Okay, and that's it.
That's all you gotta say.
We're done.
Great. Cool. Oh yeah, Zeke's one. He wants high five.
High five. There. Hey,
that actually worked.
Not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
Out. Cool. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll do some more dropped frames right after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just about 5 minutes.